that in last decade my health will not permit me to work. What achievement I want to keep for the posterity to come is bit difficult because of my health. In 1962, Baba indicated that coming year would be the year of my suffering for him. He said, though I am with infinite bliss, infinite power and infinite knowledge, he is Sachidanand Swarup. He is the embodiment of infinite bliss, power and intelligence. But I will not utilize it. He said that I will use infinite power when I will break my silence only. And bliss after I drop my body till my next advent. I will use only my infinite knowledge during my suffering. And that knowledge, that what I will have to do and what I want to keep down on this universe till next 700 years. So, Dr. Goher was looking after Baba's health all the time. In December 1960, and it was disturbing him quite a lot. Dr. Goher insisted to call Dr. Ginde at Meherabad. Baba denied. She was frequently arguing with Baba, Baba, we can't judge because it is in the head, maybe in the head or outside the head or what else is cooking inside. So ultimately Baba permitted her, okay, I don't want to call him over here, you just go to Bombay and get the advice. And she went to Bombay with Baba's permission to consult Dr. Ginde. He recommended an X-ray of the cervical spine, and the very first time at that time, it was revealed that he is suffering from cervical spondylosis, a degenerative changes in the cervical spine, where the disc was also compressing and the big osteophytes, the new calcium projections were coming out from the cervical spine. Dr. Ginde suggested a metallic collar. In those days, a customized collar were not much easily available because there were very few persons who were making the collars or any sort of these medical devices. So a fixed metallic collar was given to Baba and Baba used it because the Mandali people were insisting, but it was much creating problem. Ultimately, Dr. Ginde provided a soft collar which he wore for quite a long time. It has gone. Did it. So Baba wore it for quite a long time, but and for time being, it was giving some relief also, but there was not a permanent cure. In 1963 April,
you can use the mic.
is it on?
Yeah.
Should I give my pen drive?
Just yeah, the detail is here.
Yeah. So in 1963 April, Dr. Bharucha came to Meherabad. Baba was frequently calling him because quite often he was writing down the Baba's instruction in his diary. So Bharucha was famous because of his diary. And sometimes Baba was telling the Mandali that call Dr. Bharucha, he has write down everything, he will tell you. So, not going ahead. So Baba said that, Dr. Bharucha said, कि Baba, give some of your suffering to us also. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Baba says, yes, this is the time to give my suffering. But when I start giving my suffering, you will run away. Nobody will stand over here. So better let me suffer with my suffering. Year back in 1940, Chatti Baba has said that the all suffering borne by Baba arose out of his own compassion and the love for the humanity. Because he loves humanity, the certain unbearable load which is going to bear by the world, he will have to suffer for that thing. The sufferings yet to come upon the earth is so great that world would not be able to sustain this burden, and so Baba would have to take the one end of the yoke upon his own shoulder. That was in 1940, Chatti Baba told. After a few days, Baba suffered with a severe renal pain. Dr. Grant came and he requested Baba to come to the Ruby Hall Hospital. Baba was not prepared. After much persuasion, he consented, okay, I am coming. When he was admitted in the morning at 4 p.m., he passed the big stone. And because of stone, there was a retention of urine and some urinary complication was going on since quite a long time. He was a borderline diabetic also, so he developed urinary tract infection. And he developed severe fever with cramps. And because of the renal stone, he was not able to pass the stool. So the stool compacted and it developed the anal fissure also. So there was a fissure, there was a urinary tract infection, the stones were also there remaining in the kidney. And together with, he was having the high grade of fever. But he came down to again Guru Prasad, and from the very next day he started his own work. Dr. Grant had served Baba much frequently because in emergency Baba was used to call Dr. Grant or he was going to the Ruby Hall Hospital. One or twice it has happened that few of the Dr. Grant's patients were requesting Dr. Grant that we want to meet that particular patient. So Grant asked, why? He is also my patient. Because we are seeing something different from the other human being than this fellow. Can we meet him? The Grant's patients were asking to meet meet Baba whenever he was admitted in the hospital. And it was happening quite often. So once Baba was requested by Dr. Grant, by that particular patient who has seen you while passing from the lobby, now he is insisting to meet you. Can you meet him? And Baba very happily accepted, and he went there in his room. And that fellow was suffering from carcinoma, and he was on the verge of death. Baba consoled him, Baba talked with him for quite a long time, and gradually he recovered. And Dr. Grant later on told Baba that fellow has recovered completely. So this was destined. It was in his destiny that before he pass away, he will meet an avatar will cure him. So these sort of things were going on. So many a time it was a question whether Baba was really ill, really he was suffering, or for someone else he was doing all these things. So Dr. Grant, but he never became a devotee of Baba, but he said, and he confessed that he felt relaxed and peaceful and remained very happy and confident in his presence. And after Dr. William Donkin was also there, he was staying in Meherabad. So whenever Baba used to come to Meherabad from Guru Prasad, Dr. Donkin was used to come to Meherabad frequently. Donkin was called for the Meherabad to examine him and plan the diet. His weight was increasing, so Donkin cut down. You cut down the cholesterol, you cut down the carbohydrate, you cut down this and that, and now Dr. Goher was much perplexed what to give to Baba. Because he was having hyperlipidemia, cholesterol was high, no fatty food. He was having a borderline diabetes, and that was giving the infection in urinary tract, so cut down the carbohydrate also. And he was having uremia, high blood urea. And the urea was because of the high protein diet. So protein was also cut down. So Gover was asking, what to give him? No carbohydrate, no fat, no protein. How he will survive? So it was most perplexing. And Meherabad indicated that once he returned to Meherabad, his condition will be deteriorate more than whatever is you are seeing in Pune. All night his joints were paining. In the morning, the joints were become more stiffer, muscles were getting cramps. He was no longer able to walk to the men's mandali side on his own. Garden boys were there in those days from our Arangaon. That garden boys were used to leave the chair and to bring him there in the Mandali Hall in Meherabad. So, despite of all this in Meherabad, despite of all these challenges, Baba continued to attend the Mandali Hall for 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening hours, and he endured the pain in his hip joint. And a tiring seclusion work was also going on simultaneously. And he had to continue to work with the people. During the prayers, he was used to stand very difficultly. Eras was holding on the one arm and the Bauji on the another side, and the prayer was going on. And many a time, Dr. Baruja told me that when the prayer was just about to finish, he was giving the gesture, please fast, go on fast. So, the man who was speaking, delivering the prayer, he was rapidly yes, Baba, Baba, करके वो उसको खत्म करता था. So, it was very difficult thing to say that he was not able to stand till the prayer lasts. Over and above this thing, he was calling the person, someone from Pune, someone from Bombay, just to go on the discussion for the what next program is there. When Baba was going to Pune, there was the hot summer and he was closing all the window surroundings. For the night watchman, it was very difficult and it was most surprising as it was felt like a sitting in an OM. And it was stifling for one to remain inside for the long hours during the night time. And in the winter, when one needed a 3 blanket to keep warm, Baba would use only a thin bed sheet. And that was, he was required to change frequently because with the perspiration, it was becoming wet. His pillows and his bed sheet had to be changed frequently due to excessive sweating. So what sort of things were going on with Baba that nobody could understand. And in 64 June, Dr. Harry Canmore came. Harry Canmore was the chiro practitioner, a type of physiotherapy, and he was applying his chiropractic knowledge on the Baba's neck and back. And Baba was happy. He was not relieved with anything, but Harry Canmore was getting that opportunity. And Harry Canmore has bought a chair, big chair for Baba from abroad. And Baba was used to sit on that chair. Baba told Harry Canmore that I carry the universal burden and I suffer physically, mentally and spiritually also. My physical suffering is seen by those around me. My mental suffering is intense and infinite. As for the spiritual suffering is ad infinitum. When I break my silence, it will be the end of my suffering. Dr. Goher, on 20th August 64, Baba developed pain in the chest. Again, the physician was called. ECG was taken. It was normal. Dr. Grant was again called there in Meherabad. Blood test and everything was done. The urea was increasing. Still, he was in the high blood urea. Because of diabetes and what I have told you, he was not taking any diet, just a rice and the dal and nothing else. So it was difficult how he will maintain his body because he was unable to walk. His muscles were tiring, his muscles giving the cramps. And many a time, just to kill his pain, Baba was forcing his fist on his thigh this way, continuously. He was clamping on his thigh with a fist. And Dr. Bharucha told me that his one thigh was comparatively thinner than one other one. Because of the neuromuscular wasting, because he was applying this fist forcefully on the muscle, what Baba knows, but one thigh was much thinner than the other one. In the 3rd of the January 1965, Baba experienced severe pain in his neck. He remarked, the Manli, it's but the yoke of a universal suffering around my neck. 24th January, Dr. Ram Ginde came from Bombay. He recommended that Baba should use the soft foam rubber collar at least 2 to 3 hours in the morning and 2 to 3 hours in the evening. Baba started it, but the collar was not fixing. So Dr. Ginde went back to Bombay and again came with a 2 person. One was a physiotherapist and one was the collar maker. So Mr. Gopal Joshi was the massagist. He stayed in Meherabad for 20 days and he applied his physiotherapy, and another one made the measurement and a customized collar was being supplied to Baba. All the time after arrival of the Dr. Ginde, Baba would tell him, now my pain is gone. So whenever Dr. Ginde was used to come, Baba was talking on the irrelevant other subjects rather than his medical subjects, his own disease, he just as if he has forgotten it. And Dr. Ginde was insisting, but what happened to your neck? And how is your back? But he was changing the subject, Baba. So once he asked Bauji, please come. And you read out of that particular poem, which he was written last night. So Bau, he was saying, Baba, इतना बड़ा आदमी के सामने यार क्या कविता. So Bauji was singing his poem. See, Dr. Ginde, this Bauji says that I don't know how to write. And see the quality of his poem, what the attributes he has applied, and how methodical and how in the very rhythmical way, in the fixed meter he has composed this ghazal. It's an excellent thing. But the fellow is not understanding. So this sort of things were going on with Ginde. And what happened? On his way back to Bombay, Ajit Senior would be instructed to, on the phone to Ginde, that Baba's pain is again started. Ginde was going via Pune. In Pune, his brother-in-law was staying. So at the brother-in-law residence, there was a phone call from Ajit Senior. Baba is not feeling well. Arey bhai, main to wahan hi tha, I was there only. Why didn't he told me? Now, whenever I leave him, I just go to the Pune and he phone comes down. So this was the routine thing. Then he was again praying, Baba, should I come back? Baba said no. He was so much smitten with the Baba's love that many a times he thought of giving. He said, Baba, let me drop my practice. I don't want to practice now anymore. Let me come here and I will stay with you. Baba said, no. Continue to serve the people. It's my service. So keep on doing it. And these were the X-ray taken during 1965. Cervical spondylosis. He was having lumbar spondylosis also. And the degenerated, where is, I think it has gone. Here not, it is not coming. So there were so many degenerative changes were taken place. Okay? Okay? I hope so. Anyway, but I can stop my talk, I will continue. Dr. Ginde came with one ointment, a jar of the ointment. Baba, I have used this ointment in many people. This is DMSO. This is a dimethyl sulfoxamide ointment. If you apply on your back and on your cervical region, your pain will be relieved. So Baba applied it, and it was quite useful. But Baba applied over it, and Dr. Ginde left Meherabad, and within few hours, it started burning. And within few hours, the blisters developed. And it was so horrible. For 2 days, he suffered like anything. So, Dr. Ginde was called again on the phone. Dr. Ginde said, I beg your pardon. I was not knowing that this sort of things will happen with this ointment. So, Dr. Ginde begged Baba's forgiveness. Baba assured him, it's not your fault. I had to undergo this suffering. Remember that I had willingly agreed to this treatment, knowing what result would be happen. So, this result for you, it is surprising. For me, it was not surprising. There was a big blisters filled up with water, and it took quite a few days to subside it. So, this ointment is basically counter-irritant effect. So, when there is a paining like a pin and pricks and heat and all these things, if you apply that ointment, what happens? That it gives the counter-irritant effect, the coolness of the ointment, the coolness effect of the ointment reduces the other effect of pain and pricks and all these things. So, Ginde was very hopeful that this will relieve Baba pain, but it didn't happen. In April 1965, during Darshan program at Pune, Baba commended Dr. Bharucha, the pain in my back and the hip and the neck is reached to its climax. No one can have any idea of the intensity of my pain. Irajan Bharucha massaged his legs and back, and when he came inside for the meal, from the dais when he came inside meal, Bharucha's tears rolled down from his eyes. And Irajan Bharucha, they massaged their legs. While going back again on the dais to give the darshan, Baba was not able to stand up from the chair. So very difficultly, they both tried to make him stand up. But his 3 to 4 times, but his muscles was trembling and he was not able. With the great difficulty, he rose from his bed and crossed the threshold to go on the dais. At the moment he crossed the threshold, a remarkable transformation occurred in his behavior. Immediately, his face was radiant and he was smiling and he was waving the hand to the people and very, like a lion, he just walked on the dais and he seated on the chair. So Bharucha and Eraj were just scratching their head. It was very difficult. Sir, I will like to stop it, but my 2-3 minutes have been wasted in between. 5 minutes, okay, then it is all right. So, these sort of things were happening quite often. What happened? I think, So what happened? Again, the headache started. Dr. Grant was called in Guru Prasad when they were in Pune during his last days in 1965. He told that something is wrong with the brain circulation and his basilarity artery, the main artery which is supplying to the brain, is not functioning well. And because of that atherosclerotic changes going on in that particular basilarity artery, he is getting this severe pain. It was very difficult. So now the Ginde was up to the neck. Baba, what should I do? Once in the response to the letter from Eraj, Dr. Ginde wrote, as I have mentioned many times before in beloved's Baba's case, this Ginde wrote to Eraj, in beloved's Baba's case, I am unable to explain all the pain that he gets, nor can I believe, and nor can I treat him with the usual line of treatment known to me. Whatever I know, because he was one of the very few first neurosurgeon come neurophysician. There were no demarcation like a neurosurgeon and neurophysician. Neurosurgeon were used to do all the things. And in the Western India, he was one of the first neurosurgeon. And he was the first one to establish the neurosurgical unit in the Bombay hospital and few more other hospitals also. Not only that, even today, there is a chair on his name in the post-graduation and in the master courses, the Dr. Ginde's chair for the PG courses. And not only that, still the lecture series on the name of Dr. Ginde is going on in Bombay hospital. He was such a great personality. So, he bowed down, Baba, I am not able to explain you why the things are going wrong. This has never happened with any of the patient. Baba was asking, what happened in particular patient? You are just telling me that he was on the verge of death and he fell down from the 6th floor. What happened? Baba, he survived. The person who fell down from the 6th floor, he survived in his unit. But here Baba was not surviving of his cervical pain. So he was again becoming desperate. Baba, I am unable to explain with all my knowledge. So he only can relieve his pain if he chooses to do. If he chooses to do, he will relieve. Because in my presence, there is nothing wrong. He is all right, he is talking on the poetry and this one and that one and all subjects. But as I leave him, he started complaining. I can only pray to God that beloved Baba's pain relieved for the sake of the humanity. Baba's instructed. लोगों को समझ में तो आ रहा है मेरे ख्याल से, ये नहीं चलेगा तो. So then Baba instructed Eraj, write down a letter to him, and the root cause of my pain is not my physical, but my universal cause. It is the universal cause. So you are just an instrument for it. And it will leave me only in my time. So don't worry and remember that you are very dear to me. Once Dr. Ginde said, Baba said, don't worry, it is all by my will. It's only my will that I am getting all this suffering. I alone know the cause of my pain. It will go on its own way. I want you to go on doing your best to lessen it. I will do my best to increase it. Mandali told Baba, Ginde Sahab, we requesting you that you win and Baba lose. So, but this never happened. And Baba's and Ginde's meeting were going on. Baba was calling him frequently. Ginde was very dear to him. And Baba was giving the opportunity to many doctors, those who were coming in his contact. They were giving something, prescribing something, just telling something, and Baba was doing to keep their respect. And these things were going on. What was the Baba's plan and what he was thinking, behind all these things. But during that same period, our Srivatsavji also in 1965, when the health was not good, he visited Meherabad. And I think he will also give something regarding this thing, when he visited Baba, what was the condition of Baba in those days. Okay, so this is what, from my side, no doubt it's a dry subject, it's a medical subject. I had only restricted my talk on the medical subject only and not elaborated any other things. Simultaneously going on, no doubt the seclusion was going on, darshan program was going on, there were new centers were opening. Begum Akhtar also came on during the same time, but Baba was not feeling well. When Begum started, Baba was in the cheerful mood. So things were going on in this way. The Mandri was perplexed, but Baba was happy. Jai.
Thank you, Dr. Saab, very much. And I apologize for the failure of the system, which was not in our hands, so you would kindly bear with that.
Let the system go on your own way,
Yeah.
and we will go on our own way.
But your presentation on Baba's suffering has made me realize that to organize and conduct these programs is a great suffering for me, because I have to interrupt in the middle when you are totally devoted in your meditation, because this presentation is kind of a meditation. You are fully absorbed, you forget about the time, and one has to interrupt. So that is the greatest challenge on my part, and I apologize for that. Thank you so much. You gave me opportunity to have this experience of Baba's suffering, little bit of that. Thank you so much. Now our next presenter is Cyrus Khambata. Cyrus, please come in.
Jai Baba to all of you. In the morning, Dr. Srivastava said that I should introduce myself. My name is Cyrus Khambata, originally from Mumbai, now living in Meherabad for the last 2 years. I got to know of Baba in 1968, wrote to him a long letter about what I wanted to do and what I did not want to do, and promptly came a response from Baba through Eraj asking me to do whatever I did not want to do and not to do whatever I wanted to do. So he kept me in a trap, in a web, so to speak, and I am now very safely, housed in the webmaster's web. So my topic today is on Shireen, Baba's niece, and the interaction between 7-year-old sweetheart Shireen and 70-plus-year-old God-man who coincidentally happens to be her uncle, her kaka. So I would be reading it, and I'll be adding my 2 bits, so to speak, in the process of reading it out. This is a superb example, in a sense, of how a master has to come to the level of the disciple or somebody who is asking a question, that no question is irrelevant, no question is stupid or funny, and Baba took every question seriously and answered at a level where she can really absorb what Baba is trying to say. So here I go. On several occasions, Baba permitted his brother Adi Jr. to bring his family for Baba's darshan. Shireen was only 7 years old but was quite intelligent and precocious. Her visits enlivened the atmosphere at Meherabad, and Baba and the Mandli enjoyed her company and inquisitiveness. So important thing is that when children are inquisitive, we should encourage them, we should ask them to ask more questions and not put them down. There's a saying, that people bring happiness wherever they go, like Shireen, and sometimes people bring happiness whenever they go. So it should be wherever you go, you should spread happiness. So once a visitor to their London home, seeing the picture of Baba on the wall, asked who it was. Before Adi and Freni could reply, Shireen declared, "That is God." So here comes the emphatic, what should I say, conviction that Baba is God. I remember once when Baidul was sent out by Baba at some occasion, some function, and he went to the function and returned, and Baba asked, "So what happened?" So they said, "People ask me, who is Meher Baba?" So what did you reply? He said, "I said he's a very great saint." And Baba was so annoyed with him. He said, "You call me a saint after living with me for so many years? Don't you know I am the highest of the high?" So in other words, a learning for all of us, whenever we have to answer with conviction that Baba is the God-man. She would sometimes ask her father questions that he would not answer. For example, once she asked, "What is beyond space?" And when she did not get a satisfactory reply, she said, "You are God's brother, and yet you don't know the answer?" Adi told his daughter, "You'd better wait and put such questions to your uncle when you meet him." Again, here a lesson to us is acknowledgement of our ignorance and not to spurt out something which we are not conversant with or which we are not perfect about. She would say, "Yes, only God can explain these things to me." After embracing Baba one day, Shireen sat near his feet and at the first opportunity asked him, "Baba, what is beyond space?" The Mandli were awestruck at such a question from a child of 7. Baba looked at her lovingly and gestured, "God." So this is the answer which she accepted. But elsewhere, in 1962 East-West gathering, in a document called 21 Points as given out by Baba, Baba explains, space is the gulf between imagination and reality. Evolution of consciousness fills this gulf. Baba didn't say that. Baba said God. Shireen seemed to understand this, but then asked, "Then where is heaven?" Baba gestured, "It is between space and God." Now we know from Baba's God Speaks that heaven is not a locale or a place, it's a subjective, acute mental enjoyment that is called heaven. Baba gestured, when Shireen told a friend at school that she was leaving for India to meet God, they thought of a question together to ask God, which is higher, the stars, the sun, the moon, or the clouds? She asked it now and Baba smiled and answered, I am the highest of the high. We all know that Baba never missed an opportunity to proclaim unequivocally that I am God in human form. When Shireen told a friend at school that she was leaving, that's over with. All right. One day, Adi told Shireen to remove her shoes before going into the hall at Meherabad. Shireen asked why, and Adi explained, don't you know we are going inside to meet God? But isn't God everywhere? She questioned. Is he not in the shoes? Adi said, Baba is God in human form, and to express reverence, we remove our shoes, for shoes collect dirt, and we should be clean in the presence of God. Shireen acted accordingly and removed her shoes. But during her visit, she indirectly brought up the subject by saying, Baba, you are God. See, children are very smart. They know exactly how to ask the question at the appointed time, at the appropriate. Baba said, yes, I am God, and God is everywhere and in everyone. Shireen turned to whisper something to one of the men sitting near her, but Baba motioned to her, speak up freely. She said, I just had a thought, Baba. If God is everywhere and in everyone, then pointing at Baba, who is that sitting in the chair? In the morning you had brought that up. Baba replied, God in human form. God is everywhere indeed, but can you see him in everything? Can you feel him in everyone you meet? You certainly do not. So, I, God, have assumed this form of man to tell you and awaken you all to the fact that God is everywhere and in everyone, everything. I am the God-man. Now, Shireen's Navjot ceremony was to be performed in the Parsi. The Zoroastrians have a ceremony inducting the child into the community, into the religion, which is called Navjot ceremony. And that was on 7th of January 1965, which happened to be Mehra's birthday according to the official date, which Baba indicated should be done according to the wishes of Freni's parents. That morning, Adi, Freni, Dara, Shireen, by the way, Dara is here with us. Dara, Shireen, Sunamai and Saroj drove to Meherabad to see Baba first. Baba blessed the Sadra. Sadra is the white malmal, we call it, wear, and kasti, which is a so-called sacred thread, and placed it on her knees with his own hands. Kekobad was told to recite a short prayer. A week before the Navjot ceremony, for which Shireen had to learn many Zoroastrian prayers, Baba asked her to learn the master's prayer and recite it to him. She did as instructed and recited the prayer before Baba on the morning of her Navjot. She did not make a single mistake. Ironically, she made many mistakes when she was praying the Zoroastrian prayer. I am tempted to, this is not given at this instance, but in the 1968 Navjot, which Baba and the marriage of Amrit and Dara, Baba gave a superb message about Navjot. And it goes like this: May Ahura Mazda, Zoroaster, Meher Baba, free you from the superfluous bindings of Shariat, which is Karmakand, rites, rituals, and help you to lead a life of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds, and bestow on you the grace of loving Baba. I have given you this emblem of superficial binding to make you free from this binding and give you the real binding of love. Unless you free yourself from the bindings of ceremonies and begin to love God as He should be loved, you can never, never know the truth. So this was the message given by Baba in 1968 when the Navjot was okay. After reciting the prayer, Shireen was permitted to take Baba's darshan. After a little exchange, she says, Baba, I know we are born again and again, but you are God. So how is it that you get born? She asked. Baba replied, once in a while, God takes birth because of His love for creation. I am born in human form so that you may see me as you are, and if you are fortunate to know me and love me, then someday you will see me as I really am. Baba kept on emphatically saying, do not forget, remember that I am God. This is not me, this is only a coat that I put on when I visit you. All right, still time, yeah. Then she asked, we are your children, then why can't we stay with you? Baba said, if you love me, then I am with you wherever you are. In one of the other messages regarding love and devotion, Baba says, love does not require the presence of the beloved. So that is important. And another message which is not of Baba, but it says, remembrance. Baba gave a lot of importance to remembrance. I would say supreme importance to remembrance and repeating his name. Remembrance is a form of meeting. Like how we are meeting at the gross physical level here. When you remember the Lord, you are actually meeting Him at a higher level, at a higher, all right. If I did not love you, Baba, I am not saying I don't, because I do love you. But just supposing I did not, then it would not be my fault, would it? It would be because you did not want me to love you. And Baba said, yes, it is all my will. My will governs the creation. You love me because I want you to love me. Elsewhere, Baba says, your love for me is a reflection of my love for you. Elsewhere, somebody had asked Baba, if I commit something which is wrong, a sinful act, knowing that it is wrong, am I ultimately responsible for it? And Baba nodded, no. Baba is so smart. No. But you will have to face the consequences of your action. Basically, it means the same thing. Okay. All right. The family came to Meherabad the following day also to be with Baba. At another time, while seated in the hall with Baba and the Mandali, Shireen was absorbed in gazing at one of Baba's frame portrait at the wall. In the painting, she noticed the light around Baba's head. What is that around Baba's head? She asked. One of the Mandali replied, the circle of light represents the halo around Baba. We all know the difference between halo and aura. We won't go into that. Baba explained it to her more simply, gesturing, it is my light, Shireen. But Baba, I don't see it around you. I see it in the photograph, but I don't see it around you. Baba asked her to look at the picture again. He then motioned for her to close her eyes. Now do you see the light glowing around the face in the picture? Still closing her eyes, she replied, no. I'm jumping a little bit so as to be with the time. So now what Baba is saying, why can't you? Baba says, only when your real eye opens, you will be able to see my light. So Baba, but why can't you open that eye now, Baba? I can. But for that, my grace has to descend. And for my grace to descend on you, you have to love me as I should be loved. Again, elsewhere, Baba said, love me above everything. He who gives God a second place gives him no place. So it's like the importance to be given to Baba. Will that light burn me if I see it? No, it cannot burn you. It will make you blissful and very happy. When will I see that light? When you really want to see it. Many times we say, I really want, but if you really wanted it, you would not be here asking that I really want, you will get it. I am reminded of I think it was a Parsi gentleman always pestering Baba, I want your grace, I want this, I want that. So one fine day to stop him from muttering all the time, Baba said, today I am in a mood to give you that grace. But remember, if I pour that grace in your cup, the cup will shatter. Are you willing? He said, no, Baba, I am going. So it's like that. We are only mouthing these things, but we are not really wanting to have His grace. All right. When will Baba says, when you will be hungry for that grace, then only. When will I be hungry for it? When you love me as I should be loved. How can I love you like that? By remembering me all the time with your heart. So here Baba says, we have to start with remembrance. Remembrance leads to love. That's a very DIY, do-it-yourself kind of a kit which Baba has said. Keep repeating my name even if it is mechanical. A time will come when you will start loving me. By what name should I remember you? Baba says, Baba, Baba, Baba. Another important thing, many people ask, should I say Baba or Meher Baba or Avatar Meher Baba, Sarva Vyapi Meher Baba, Avatar, Mohan Avatari Meher Baba and all that. Anytime, at least in my reading, whenever Baba says, repeat my name, he only said, Ba, Ba. That's all. Shireen was quite receptive to all that Baba revealed to her. During her talk with him, she seemed oblivious of the others sitting in the room. That's how. And once, she was gazing at Baba and very sweetly. And Baba is asking, what are you saying? Like that. All right. When she was having lunch with Baba and the women Mandali, she suddenly piped up, I wish I had a magic wand. One of the women asked her what she would do with a magic wand, and she replied, I would wish for what I want. And what do you want to wish for? To see Baba with the light around him. So this is the innocence of a child. I remember once another child, when Baba said, you ask anything and I'll give you. And what does the child ask? Baba, I want your suffering to end. Can you imagine? Young boy in the school, Baba's school, he said, I want your suffering to end. All right. Then about this snakes and scorpions, Baba, why did you create creepy crawly and all that? And Eraj tried to reply the answer saying, God has created such things so that in our fear, we may call out to Him and remember Him. This did not satisfy Shireen. So Baba piped in and said, that God is all powerful. So He can make us remember Him directly instead of through nasty, horrible things like snakes and scorpions. Shireen is telling Eraj. Such innocent but equally deep questions startled those present. Good or bad, now Baba says, good or bad, ugly or beautiful, they are all mine. When some Baba was asked what is evil, he said, there is no evil. It is only a lower degree of goodness. So from the standpoint of Advaita or oneness or unity or whatever you call it, there is no duality. It is only a lower level of this thing. And we all know about tum hi to ho, you alone exist, where you are a mosquito, you are a pig, you are a this, you are a that. And when people started laughing at Bauji, Baba said, do not change a single word. It is now time for people to realize that God is not just in things which are beautiful and noble, He is equally in those things which are so-called filthy, nasty and stuff like that. So when Baba once told her, I love you very much, Shireen went over and whispered in his ears, I love you even more. Whenever Mehra or someone else would give her a gift, sweets or a toy, she would run to offer it first to Baba. That should be our practice. Whenever we get anything from anybody, offer it first to Baba. And to please her, Baba would partake of the sweets. Otherwise, because of his diabetes, he would not be eating any sweets and we would play with the toys. On occasion, Baba would make Shireen sing and tell him jokes. And Baba would have soup in the afternoons. He would give it to her to finish. How lucky, how fortunate. In her own words, about her time with her favorite uncle, Shireen recollected, Baba made me feel very loved. He gave me a lot of attention, which of course delighted me. I thought he was so wonderful, my loving uncle, a magician, an all-knowing God. I felt I could ask him anything, and he always answered my questions at my level, the level of a child. But at the same time, he treated each question seriously. And then she says, I pestered him a lot. During our stay in India, Baba made me feel I could do whatever I wanted. He spoiled me, and I knew that I was being spoiled, but I really liked it. I just wanted to be with him. I only wanted to be with Baba all the time. Jai Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.